Daniel Sanford reporting. And with us is Olivia Guita, a security consultant who's worked with the Home Office and the EU. Olivia, welcome. Thank you very much for coming in. What does this incident in Whitehall tell you about the kind of challenge that the security services and police are facing here?
Look, unfortunately, since December 2015, the UK has come at the top of the list of targets for jihadists since the intervention in Syria. Before that, they were a tier 2 country, if you will, compared to France and the US. We have also a couple of issues, is the returning jihadists. We estimate that about 400 of them have returned. So that's one challenge that the security services have to face, but also in terms of homegrown jihadists, that is really the problem. We're talking about potentially 3,000 people on the UK soil.
And the Metropolitan Police saying that they're trying to contain a growing number of threats, and it's not a matter of necessarily explosions that they're trying to carry out. It's other sort of lower tech attacks that they're facing too.
Very much so, and the UK is even more specific than other countries on the continent, because it's much more difficult for terrorists to get a hold of an AK-47 in the UK than it is in France or Belgium. So you are likely to see attacks with knives and with cars or trucks.
So how much more difficult is a plan like that to foil?
Extremely difficult. I think the security services were very lucky yesterday to grab that individual, but it was on information gathered from people around him.
What is the influence then behind that change in focus away from explosives to things like cars and knives?
As you said, it's very low tech. It's very easy to use, because obviously everybody has a car, and you don't need to be a techie to know how to do explosives. And unfortunately, as of now, it's quasi impossible to foil. There's
no such thing as a lone wolf, we're now told, that there will be a connection with a cell, possibly some kind of online relationship with someone feeding you information, feeding you advice, if you want to carry out one of these attacks. So how do the police find these people, and how much are they reliant upon the community to help?
The only way, you are correct, the only way that they can get access to information before it happens is through the community, through the people that are close to that individual and that would come forward and tell them, because otherwise it's unfortunately the nightmare of security services all over the world. Without that kind of intel, we're at a loss.
Olivia Guita, security consultant, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us. Thank you.